Hello students, in the last class we have discussed the important concept of Henry's law, the definition and expression along with the graphical representation of Henry's law. When the same Henry's law is applied for two different solutions or two component solution, or it's a mixture of solutions, then the graphical representation can be drawn for P1 as well as P2, and we have seen the combined graphical representation for the Rolle's law also. And further we have also seen the interesting concept which is related to the Rolle's law, that is the deviation from the Rolle's law. The graphical representation for the positive deviation also we have seen, and negative deviation also we have seen. Whenever the value is higher than the standard value, then we'll call it as the positive deviation from the Rolle's law, and whenever the value or the obtained value is lesser or smaller or lower than the normal value, then that is called as negative deviation from the Rolle's law. After those concepts, there is one important 2 marks question in this is the main differences between the ideal solution and non-ideal solution, which means the solutions can be classified into 2 types. One is called as ideal solution and second one is called as a non-ideal solution. Here if you observe, there is a definition. The solution which obeys the Rolle's law at all concentration. Already we know that Rolle's law is equal to P total is equal to P1 plus P2, right? So therefore, the solution which has capacity to obey the Rolle's law at all concentration, then that is called as ideal solution. And non-ideal solution means the solution which does not obey or which do not obey the Rolle's law at all concentration, then that is called as non-ideal solution. That is the first important difference. Second one is delta H of mixing. Observe here carefully. Delta H means that is change in concentration, change in enthalpy. H represents the enthalpy or the heat of the system. So therefore delta represents the change in the value. So change in the value of enthalpy during mixing will be 0, right? So whenever you mix a different component to the same solution, then what happens? The heat of the system will not change. And that is called as ideal solution. And similarly, the volume during mixing also does not change. Change in the volume during mixing will also will not be changed during the if the solution is ideal solution. Right? But in case of non-ideal, it is deadly opposite. Here if you observe, delta H of mixing is 0. Here delta H of mixing is not equal to 0, which means whenever you take a container and if you add a solution and if you add another solution for that, what happens? The enthalpy automatically changes. It may decrease or increase, that is a secondary, but automatically there is a change in the heat energy or there is a change in enthalpy, that is called as delta H of mixing is not equal to 0. It will be not stagnant. It may goes on increases or it may goes on decreases. So therefore that kind of solutions are also called as a non-ideal solution. And here the volume during mixing or the change in volume during mixing is also not equal to 0. So these are the 3 important differences between the ideal solution and non-ideal solution. I will repeat here. So the definition can be given as the solution which obeys the Rolle's law at all concentration. Right? So at all concentration is called as ideal solution, and the solution which do not obey the Rolle's law at all concentration is called as non-ideal solution. In ideal solution, delta H of mixing and delta V of mixing will be equal to 0 always. But in case of non-ideal solution, delta H of mixing and delta V of mixing both are not equal to 0. So along with that, there is one important definition that is called as azeotropes. Here you can observe, I have written here. Azeotropes are the binary mixture. Right? So these are 2 solutions which are also known as binary mixture and having same composition. They are having the same composition. Their composition is same. And in the liquid and vapor phase, even in liquid phase also and even in vapor phase also, and they boils at constant temperature. Constant means they boils at the same temperature. Generally boils at the same temperature, right? So very simple. If I take a 2 container here, so this is 1 container, this is 2 container. So there are 2 solutions. One is A, another one B. So here, so whenever I mix this first container to the second container or second container to the first container, then that is called as a binary mixture. That is 2 solutions and they are having same composition. The container A which consists of solution and container B which consists of solution, both are having the same composition. Observe, this is the word, keyword. And even in case of liquid as well as vapor phase, and they boils at the constant temperature. Whenever they boils at the constant temperature, and that is called as azeotropes. This can be asked for 1 mark, right? So whenever you classify the azeotropes, there are 2 types further. One is called as minimum boiling azeotrope and second one is called as maximum boiling azeotrope. Very simple. Azeotropes are the 2 solutions or it is a binary mixture of solutions which are having same composition even in case of liquid as well as vapor phase, and they are having the same boiling point, or they boils at the constant temperature, and those are called as azeotrophs. Right? So remember, during the separation of liquids, you can go for distillation. Right? So whenever there is a mixture of two solutions, we can go for the distillation. But in case of azeotrophs, what happens? Since they are having same composition, also they are having the same boiling point, it's difficult to separate the composition of these liquids even from the normal distillation also. So therefore, there is a specific property called as azeotrophs. Right? So the classification of azeotrophs are two types. So that is not extended for your syllabus, but just you have to understand that one. One is called as minimum boiling azeotrophs, and second one is called as maximum boiling azeotrophs. Right? So azeotrophs, we already know the definition. So, and it is further classified in two types. So one is called as minimum boiling azeotrophs, and second one is called as maximum boiling azeotrophs. Right? So these are the two important questions which may occur from the solution chapter. One is the differences between the ideal solution as well as non-ideal solution. We have seen the three differences. And second question was define azeotrophs or classify the azeotrophs. One is called as minimum boiling azeotrophs, and second one is called as maximum boiling azeotrophs. So the next concept is regarding with the colligative properties, and this is seriously important concept, right? So the colligative properties, there is a definition for this. So here the properties which depends on number only, but not on the nature of the solid molecules, right? So if I assume any container, or if you take a simple container, if container consists of different kinds of solid molecules and solvent molecules, and they convert into solution. So further what happens, the complete properties which depends only on the number, even it may be any kind of solution, which means here the quantity matters. Here the quantity matters more than the quality. You must understand this word. This is very important keyword, right? So the properties which are completely dependent on the quantity of the molecule, not on the quality of the molecule, then those kind of properties are generally called as colligative properties. So therefore, there is a definition like this: the properties which depends on the number means quantity, but not on the nature means quality, right? So the properties which are completely dependent on the number of solute particles but not on the nature of solute particles, and those are called as colligative properties, right? So for your syllabus, they have given four important colligative properties. One is called as a relative lowering of vapor pressure, second one is called as elevation in boiling point, third one is called as a depression in freezing point, fourth one is called as osmosis, and they have given the explanation regarding with the osmotic pressure also. In the bottom I have also written the expression here, the statement here. The colligative properties are properties which depends on the quantity, that does not depend on the quality, right? So quantity means number, quality means nature, right? So the complete colligative properties information is only on the basis of number itself, not on the basis of nature. So regarding with that, further we'll study four important colligative properties. Remember here, so you'll get 3 marks problematic question from any of this, right? So one is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure, second one is called as elevation in boiling point, third one is called as depression in freezing point, and fourth one is osmosis as well as osmotic pressure. Okay, here you can observe the first colligative properties, that is the relative lowering of vapor pressure. So it can be stated as very simple. It is a ratio between lowering of vapor pressure and vapor pressure of the pure solvent. See here. So it is the ratio. Ratio means it is the divided value. So ratio between the lowering means reducing or decreasing value of vapor pressure. Already you know what is vapor pressure. The pressure created by the molecules or the vapors on the upper surface of the container or the lid. It is called as vapor pressure. And that lowering means a decreasing vapor pressure. It is a ratio between the decreasing vapor pressure or lowering vapor pressure and vapor pressure of the pure solvent, whatever the water molecule or any kind of solvent molecules if you take in a container. So here I have given the diagram, see here. So there is an 1 liter of water molecule in this container, and if you add 5 grams of any kind of sugar or salt into this, Then if you start heating, then there is a chance of formation of vapors at the upper surface of the container. So as you go on adding the solute molecules, then what happens? The vapor pressure of the solution goes on decreases, because the combining capacity of atom goes on increases, and hence the vapor pressure goes on decreases. So therefore here, whenever you take the ratio of reducing the value of vapor pressure, that is called as lowering of vapor pressure, and vapor pressure of only solvent molecules, and that is called as a relative lowering of vapor. Divide this word. One is relative, second one is lowering, third one is vapor pressure, right? So relative means comparison value, right? So that is comparison in the value. Lowering means decreasing, and third one is vapor pressure. You already know that. So whenever you explain the relative lowering of vapor pressure, there is one formula for the calculation, and that can be given as P1 naught minus P1 divided by P1 naught, that is equal to W2 into M1 divided by M2 into W1. Observe here, you will get the 3 marks question for this. Right, so P1 naught minus P1 divided by P1 naught is equal to W2 into M1 divided by M2 into W1. This is very simple. The second important colligative properties is elevation of boiling point. Observe here. Elevation means increase. I have already written here. Elevation means increase. Assume there is one container and I have taken the 3 liter of water. You can take any value. Here for the example, I have taken 3 liter of water. We know that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Everyone know that the water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Right? So if I add 2 kg of sugar for this solution, suppose assume that if you add 5 kg, 3 kg, any kind of value. Right? So 2 kg of sugar you have taken. So then what happens? This converts into sugar solution. Right? Whenever it converts into sugar solution, what happens? You must supply high amount of temperature. You must supply high amount of temperature to boil this water. Right? So therefore initially it was 100 degrees Celsius for water. Then for sugar solution what happens? It has converted into 130 degrees Celsius. Which means the standard value was 100, but it has increased to 130. Which means the difference, you can see the difference here. So if you minus 130 minus 100, you will get the 30 degrees Celsius. The thing I am explaining here is, initially the boiling point of the solution was a standard value or the normal value. Due to the addition of solute molecule, that is sugar molecule, what happens? The 100 value of degree Celsius was increased to 130 degree, which means 30 degree it has increased from the normal value. So therefore this concept or this condition is generally regarded as the elevation of boiling point. Elevation means elevator. Elevator means lift, right? So there is a lifting in the boiling point or increasing the boiling point. That condition is called as elevation in boiling point. This elevation is in boiling point is also important colligative property. Here elevation in boiling point or elevation of boiling point is dependent only on the quantity, that is number, not on the quality. That does not depend on the nature. So therefore it is regarded as the colligative property. Very simple. Initially it has some kind of boiling point, but it has shifted or it has increased due to the addition of some other component. It may be sugar, it may be salt or anything. So therefore the change in the value from TB naught to TB, from TB naught, that is 100 degrees Celsius, to TB, that is 130 degrees Celsius, and that condition is called as elevation in boiling point. Here I have written increasing the boiling point of the solution or the pure solvent, increasing the boiling point of solution or pure solvent due to the addition of other component. Due to the addition of other component, that is called as elevation in boiling point. You can draw the graph here. This is very simple. So nowhere they will ask the graph in the annual examination, but you must understand the graphical representation for the elevation in boiling point. In the x-axis we have taken it as temperature, in the y-axis we have taken it as vapor pressure. Very simple. In x-axis I have taken it as temperature, in y-axis we have taken it as vapor pressure, and there are two lines or the two curved lines. One is for the solvent molecules we have drawn, another for the solution molecules we have drawn. See here, initially the TB naught value, which was 100 degrees Celsius, was nearer to the origin. Compare, or when you take a distance from, this is the origin, right? So when you take a distance from origin to the TB naught value, it is somewhat less. and it has extended this side. I have shown this with a arrow mark. So here, this arrow mark, it has increased because on the x-axis the value goes on increase, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it goes on, right? So therefore, the TB naught value which is present during the standard value has been shifted here, right? So this arrow mark you can observe, right? So therefore, the normal value or the standard value has increased due to the addition of solute molecules, and that is called as elevation in boiling point, and this is the graphical representation. See here, the red lines represents the shifting of the boiling point from the normal value. The first line was initial, that is for 100 degrees Celsius, and due to the addition of solute, what happens, this line has shifted here, that we can see in the arrow mark. So this shifting was basically due to the addition of solute molecule, and that condition is called as elevation in boiling point. And here you can observe this difference. Highest value is 130, lowest value is 100. I can remove the difference. So 130 minus 100 is, the difference value is 30 degrees Celsius, right? So that can be given with the help of formula. This is the formula. See, delta TB is equal to TB minus TB naught, and here the TB is directly proportional to molarity. Right? So, and TB is equal to Kb into m, and here the Kb is called as boiling point constant, molar elevation constant, or it is also called as ebuloscopic constant. And there is a formula for the calculation of delta TB, and delta TB is equal to Kb into 1000 into W2 divided by m2 into W1. Right? So, if you want to calculate m2, I can take this m2 this side and delta TB this side. So, that is m2 is equal to 1000 into W2 into Kb divided by delta TB into W1. This is the expression, or this is the formula for the calculation of molarity of the solution in case of elevation in boiling point. So again, you can get the 3 marks question from this, right? So understand the concept. There is no need of by-hearting any concepts or any kind of graphical representation. Just understand the concept, then you can go for the formula and you can get the 3 marks in the problematic questions. After the explanation regarding with the elevation in boiling point, the third type of colligative properties, or the third important colligative property according to your syllabus, is depression in freezing point. Understand the word. Elevating means it is increasing. Depressing or depression means the value goes on decreases. This is very important. Right? So depression in freezing point means the value goes on decreases from the normal value, right? So whatever we have seen in the elevation in boiling point is deadly opposite to the depression in freezing point. Depression means reduce in the freezing point. Right? Observe the statement here. Decrease in the freezing point of the solution or the pure solvent due to the addition of other component. Due to the addition of other component, which means initially due to the addition of other component, what happened? The boiling point has been increased from 100 degrees Celsius to 130 degrees Celsius. So here if you observe, if I take a container and if I add water for that, here I have taken 2 liters of water, and we know here we are talking about freezing point, which means the water will convert into ice. The normal freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius, right? The normal freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. So here what happens? Due to the addition of any kind of solute molecules, further the freezing point also decreases, which means initially it has some value, and further due to the addition of solute molecules, the value has been reduced or decreased. That condition is called as depression of freezing point. Again, we can draw the same graphical representation whatever we have seen in the elevation in boiling point. So here in x-axis I have taken the temperature, and in y-axis I have taken the vapor pressure. You can observe here. So here initially Tf naught, that is 0 degrees Celsius, the Tf naught was this side, right side, and due to the addition of solute molecule, the value has been reduced or the value has been decreased. Therefore, this red line has shifted to the left hand side. So in case of elevation in boiling point, what happened? The red line or this graphical representation was shifted to the right hand side, that you have already observed. So if not, go back to the last graphical representation, in that you can see. So here in this case what happened? In the elevation in boiling point condition, this red line was shifted to the right side, that we have shown with the arrow mark. And in case of the third colligative property, that is depression in freezing point, what happens? So here you can observe this arrow mark. So this red line has shifted to the left hand side, which means the value has been reduced or the value has been decreased. That condition is due to the addition of salt molecule or any kind of solute molecules, and that is called as depression in freezing point. Just remember, water freezes at 0 degree Celsius, it is a normal value. In water, if you add any kind of other solute molecules, then the freezing point reduces, the freezing point decreases. That condition is called as depression in freezing point, right? So here, observe here, this is the graphical representation. X-axis we have taken as temperature, y-axis vapor pressure. Here one is for solvent and solution. As we have seen in case of elevation in boiling point, same thing. Whenever these two mix solute and solution, there is a curve which can be observed here, and this is called as a frozen solid, which means it is converting into ice. The liquid is converting into ice, right? So this is the point where the frozen solvent is present, and this is the reduced value. Initially it was TF naught, it has converted into TF. So here therefore delta TF is equal to TF naught minus TF. In case of delta TB, in case of elevation in boiling point, see here, in case of elevation in boiling point we have seen delta TB is equal to TB minus TB naught. This was different case. And in case of depression, here B represents boiling and F represents freezing. Delta TF is equal to TF naught minus TF. Understand? Both are having a heavy difference here, right? So in case of delta TB is TB minus TB naught, right? So this is TB naught. But in case of delta TF, it is a TF naught minus TF. So therefore, here what happens, delta TF is also directly proportional to M, and here Kf is called as freezing point constant. In that Kb, in that elevation in boiling point, Kb was called as molar elevation constant or abeloscopic constant. But here Kf is called as a depression constant, freezing point constant or cryoscopic constant, is also called as cryoscopic constant. And here there is a formula for the calculation of delta TF, and that can be given as a delta TF is equal to Kf into 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. Therefore M2 is equal to, I can cross multiply this one, I can take this denominator value to the numerator on the left hand side and this delta TF to the right hand side to the denominator. So therefore M2 is equal to 1000 into W2 into Kf divided by delta TF into W1. So from this also you may get the 3 mark. The problematic question. The problematic question will be always on the colligative properties. It may be on the relative lowering of vapor pressure, it may be on the elevation in boiling point, or it may be on the depression in freezing point, or it may be on the osmotic pressure also, right? So here these are the 3 important colligative properties. One is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure, and I have explained that also. Second one is the elevation in boiling point, already we have seen the graph. And third one is called as depression in freezing point. So try to draw both graphs in a same page. One is elevation in boiling point graph and the depression in freezing point graph, and compare them side by side. Then only you can understand, or it's a very easy method to understand the difference between the elevation in boiling point as well as depression in freezing point. The only one thing you have to remember always during the study of colligative properties is the complete concept is dependent on the number of molecules but not on the nature of molecules, right? So here we have completed 3 colligative properties. One is relative lowering of vapor pressure, second one is elevation in boiling point, third one is depression in freezing point. In the next class, we will study about the 4th colligative properties, that is osmosis. Try to make your own notes and try to make the separate graphical representation of all these. Already we have seen the Henry's law graphical representation, Rolle's law, as well as the higher value, that is positive deviation from Rolle's law, negative deviation from Rolle's law. Similarly, the elevation in boiling point and depression in freezing point. Try to draw all the graphs in one page and try to relate them. Then you will get the specific idea regarding with all the concepts. So here we will stop here. So we will continue in the next class. Thanks for joining.